Hey guys, what's up? So today we're going to be showing you some of Parko and Toxic's carries throughout some, I guess, public games. And Parko is playing his AMX 30B, and Toxic is playing his TVP 5051 on Redshire. Toxic is going to go to G5, and Parko is going to go to roughly F9. And by looking at this, you can see that they're setting up a crossfire, and what I mean by that is Parko is going to spot the guys crossing, C8, 9, D9, and Toxic's going to be able to clip them out. So it's a good little duo they have right here. But you can see Parko is now backing up, and what he's doing is backing up from a bush where it's no longer transparent. It means that you don't lose as much camo after firing, which is extremely important in a tank like a 30B that doesn't have a lot of camo. So as you can see, the 3-4 line is pretty weak. Most of the force is congregated on the 9-0 line or the K line. And Parko just bounces a shot. That 30B, that's not too often. And what this means is that the 3-4 line is going to be contested if they send tanks over there. I think it looks like so far they have a pretty decent force on the 0 line as well, so there's going to be quite a decent brawl between the green and the reds. And, you know, usually it's safe to say that your reds are your greens are going to lose to the reds because potatoes. He tries to get the snapshot off in the 140, but it doesn't just quite work out for him. He misses because, you know, on the move accuracy troll. He's going to go for the E5 and, well, doesn't take the shot because it's a cupola snipe, and that's not always the best shot to take, you know. He's gonna look again, look for a shot, try to sneak one in. He does fire, but IS3 stops moving forward, and you see he was wiggling his gun there, getting frustrated. So now he's just looking for more opportunistic shots on these tanks that are poking the ridgeline. He does try to get one into the E5 again, and it hits the dirt or rock, whatever is in front of there in his terrain. And you're going to notice that him and Toxic is not clipping something on the other side of the fatherland. Parko does finally land a shot. It's about time. He's doing it because he can't always aim. And now he's just going to kill the fatherland so Toxic doesn't have to waste this clip on him. Which is, you know, necessary. Shot goes in the track. Sees the fatherland gets unspotted. Now they focus the waffle, which is the priority because it's a waffle with 3360. He can clip the entirety of Parko and then some. So Parko does get the blind fire up. Blind fire. Parko does get the shot on. Waffle is now a black bar, basically. He has a one-shot for anything left on his team. Parko takes the blind shot and misses. So now he's just going to go for more side shot than these tanks. And, you know, he's not going to really get any shots because it's a very narrow ridge they're poking and no tank's tall enough for him to really get shots on. So now he realizes that they're kind of putting a little bit of pressure on the four line, the heavy tank, and the fatherland. So, you know, Toxic might be able to deal with that alone. And as you can see, it's down 2-7, and the Reds won. The green team running train the 0 line, and the red team won because they did the same thing. And our team, well, Parko's team got outplayed because they're green, and that's usually how it works. So Parko's just going to rush this guy. You know, he probably could have played this a little safer, but thankfully he is Toxic to support him, and they're able to take him out. Now he's taking a lot of unnecessary damage on tanks like the Fatherland, well, the Carnarvon and Conquer, and, you know, now he has to deal with the Fatherland. And now he can get YOLO'd from right here, which I think is kind of an aggressive play. He got punished for it. I don't think it was the smartest of plays, but it worked in the end, I suppose. He hits the dirt in the Fatherland, so he just wastes another shot. Thankfully they have no artillery, otherwise he'd be getting shot in the ass right now. So now Toxic's just going to try to clean up some of the tanks that are left over here so they can worry about the other flank. Which may or may not work. There is a waffle, another waffle. Parko does get the shot, and he did not get spotted, which is thankfully due to the bush in front of him and the new waffle nerf to the view range. I shouldn't say new, but, you know, last few months. So now he's just going to try to deal with this Tiger too, because he's isolated, but there's the Carnarvon to his side. He gets the tracking shot onto him, and the Carnarvon just, decides not to shoot him. Personally, I would have shot Parko. I think it's quite fun, but he takes him out. Toxic doesn't have to wait an extra shot on him, and Toxic's going to pop a reload right now. I mean, I don't blame him. Now, Parko gets the tracking shot on the Tiger too, which in a situation like this, getting tracking targets so that you and your platoon mate can eliminate a tank is very beneficial to winning the game in a clutch situation. Because as you know, 3 minutes ago the score was 2-7, and now it's 8-8, so this is quite a comeback. Now here's the Waffle, who starts to shoot Parko. Parko almost just kind of went in. Now Toxic's going to get yellowed and almost get outplayed by a Waffle. The memes, boys, memes. So Parko just gets really, more or less an RBRT on the Waffle, and he's going to get taken out here in a second. Now Parko knows that he can high roll and kill him, and there he goes. Or Parko can get high rolled and killed from the Waffle. Since it averages 560, rolling for 588 isn't that much of a question. So now, as you can see, they're winning. They turn the game around, which is quite extraordinary because usually that doesn't happen quite often. When you see a 2-7, you kind of just give up, and you're more or less just like, oh, I can't win this game. Like, it's not going to happen. I can't carry, But as you can see, that's not always the case. They were able to turn this game around, and they're still dealing out damage. And Parko has yet to fire a heat round, so he wasn't premium spamming either. So that's also quite good. Because, usually you can't even get close to Unicum without shooting premium. That's a joke, by the way, if you didn't know that. So, now, because Parko has low hit points, he doesn't want to just rush out into the field and get clipped by a Chai sniping IS-7, so he's just going to play it safe at this moment and let Toxic do all the dirty work. The Fatherland is still alive behind them. He still hasn't been taken out yet, which is quite impressive, to be honest. There's the IS-7. Parko lands the shot into his drive wheel. That was a great shot. And now he's just going to try to get some more damage into him. There he goes. There's another pen into the IS-7. Surprisingly enough, the IS-7 didn't eat his round shots. He bounces off the side of the Fatherland. Well played, well played. So, now he's just going to try to farm. I shouldn't say farm, but he's just going to try to get some end damage. The Fatherland finally gets killed. It's been alive all game, harassing them. There's the Waffle. He's on one shot. It's the same Waffle that they were farming in the beginning of the game that they left. And Parko is just going to try to sit here and hope someone overexposes or something. Drives through the open field or takes a corner too much. The Fatherland just did that. He overexposed and he gets taken out by Parko, who's now accumulated 19 penetrations, 3 kills, 2 track target hits, 3 spotted hits, 7 crits, and 8 spots. It's quite a good game on Parko's part. I like the sound of that. Parko's part, doesn't it sound pretty catchy, pretty ringy? But anyways, he's just going to sit back, trying to get some end-game kills, damage. They should be close to a Brothers in Arms. Toxic only needs 1 more kill, and they have it, which is nice considering they were so close to a loss, and they were able to pull that game around. So, that's basically it for this game. I'd be quite impressed to see come back at this point in the Reds, after having Parko and Toxic come back from a 2v7 in the beginning, but I don't see IS-7 doing that, especially against Parko and Toxic. I mean, Toxic's potato, so it probably won't be that hard, but, it should be alright. So now they're probably just gonna, in this situation, you have to hit points, you could just YOLO the IS-7. The odds of him one-shotting Parko are pretty slim. Parko's gonna get trolled by a gun barrel, and Toxic's gonna perform all the damage, and Parko takes the kill. So there you go, that's it. You have a 2v7, come back from a 2v7, Parko gets the mastery badge, 7,300 damage, Toxic gets 7,066 damage. That's quite an impressive game on their part. That was very nicely done, and does a very nice carry. As you can see, no one else in their team really did anything. So there you have it. Potatoes like Toxic can carry games, boys. So if Toxic can do it, so can you. Thank you, and hope to see you next time.